any donations there for me, I'll be glad to receive them. Also, you can contact me at jtandtministries@gmail.com. That's jtandtministries, ministries at gmail.com. Call me at 410-294-9413.
You know what's still the same?
One of my greatest joys is to see the homeless when they receive these gifts in the wintertime. And so I'm hoping that you can share in this ministry with us. God bless. Thank you very much.
He get joy seeing the homeless people receiving things.
You told me that.
Wow.
We were taking short sleeve shirts and stuff, and it's like 20 degrees outside. He said, that's not what
I need to be somebody mentor. I'm the mentor now.
Yeah. I learned that stuff from you.
We learn.
I'm
Get
not
on
still
there.
rolling with it.
Get on there and be verbal about stuff and let people know what they need. And
See,
that
people don't
season.
think. People are so
Don't
busy
think.
trying to be helpful,
Yeah.
they're not helping.
Help.
You know.
Amen
When I
to
want to
that.
give them some, I want to give them that. No, it's not about what you want to
you
give
wanna
them.
do.
What do they need?
What they need.
Right.
You know.
What
So
they
what we
need.
do, we ask them what they need.
Yeah.
They'll
What do
tell
they
you.
need? They'll tell
That's
you
like
what
the
they
guy
need.
came up to me. He said, "Man, I appreciate it, but this summertime stuff."
Oh. Okay, so that means you got to bring some wintertime
Yeah,
stuff.
you know.
Okay.
That's right.
We need some
What
gloves,
do they
man.
need?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I need socks
Socks.
on.
Big
What
socks.
they need.
So if you got some of them, broken
Can I
boots-
record you talking to people? You ready to talk?
What you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about. hold on. I would like for
That's
you
all.
to talk
See, he
about.
got to energize all that energy he has for media and exposing our small. Because basically, I kid with everybody about Larry. I said Larry is like a kid, and
By the way, I'm recording you.
yeah. Stop it. Everybody know what I say about you.
Go ahead.
He like a kid in a
you
candy
frustrated.
store.
I
Like
do.
anything dealing with a camera, he on it. He want to expose. He want to talk. He want to interview. I said, imagine if we had him one of those real cameras where he went around like the news people. All our news in this city would be front and center because he would stay exposing and telling stuff because that's the way he operate.
Right.
So giving him a candy is like giving a kid a desire, their dream. Like I want G.I. Joe man. Wow,
Right.
I want to do this.
I want a
So
camera.
he keeps this. He has an innocent mindset about things of that nature, but it'll
So
help him
we had
because he
talked
get
about
exposed.
that, maybe going down
Yeah.
into communities and we just talked and
Doing
recording.
video, doing
Yeah.
doing certain
Yeah,
things.
Yeah. I went into the projects one day, right in the center court there, where they were doing their dealing, and I went up to the biggest guy there, and I said, "Hey man, how you doing? I'm Ron Timpson." He was like, you know, when you approach him like that,
Right.
that breaks down all the barriers.
All the
right?
barriers.
He was like, all right, bro. You know, I said, look, man, I know there's a lot of problems going on down here, a lot of crime, different things. I said, can I interview you guys? You know, he said, man, if you start
Yeah.
and I can talk to you there, but this is business. This is like
Yeah.
my company here. You can't come into my company and
Right.
take pictures.
See,
okay?
they got a cordial behavior for public.
Right.
You're in his business. This business
It's
now.
necessary.
You up here interviewing with me. I gotta keep my eyes on everything.
Exactly.
I gotta
exactly.
keep my eyes on Bo over there that's dealing, who ain't dealing.
Yeah, you
So, no.
distracted me, and I
But you
can't
come
do
on
that.
another time. I
Right.
can.
This is where I go for lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so,
give you
so
the opportunity.
somebody else is watching while we go over here. So you know.
Larry has a
So Larry,
dynamic.
what you want to talk
Mr. Thompson or
He has
Minister
a lot.
Thompson,
Timpson.
Timpson,
Yes.
Timpson, Pastor Timpson.
No, just Ron Timpson. What if you want to give me official title, Elder Timpson?
Elder
Yeah,
Timpson.
don't call me pastor.
Elder.
Okay, Elder
Call me pastor.
Timpson. And the correct spelling? T-I.
Timpson.
There you go. Now, can you let the world know exactly what you do? I see that you just gave us some pamphlets and some books, and I'm pretty sure you go to prison ministry.
Yes.
Can you let us know how that?
I'm Federation Prison Ministry Director for the Allegheny East Conference, and I am director of 6 different chapters. We have the Virginia chapter, the Maryland chapter, the Washington, D.C. chapter, Delaware Valley, Bay Area, and Northern New Jersey. And my responsibilities are to make sure that the chapter presidents in those areas and the volunteers
I'm his mentor too.
to sufficiently carry out their responsibilities and in the institutions as well as out. One of our biggest concerns is aftercare. A lot of people want to go into the prisons and do ministry, and that's great. But the majority of you don't meet them at the door and help them to get acclimated back into society. Most likely it's gonna be recidivism where they'll go right back into prison. So you got to meet them at the door. Help them to get maybe into a transitional house or, do some job training. And if they've been in there as long as 25, 30 years, like a lot of the inmates have been, this is a whole new world when they come out, and they get scammed and gamed, just like they did before they went in. They get hooked up with, no offense to the ladies, but the men get hooked up with a female who helps them to get their SSI and all that kind of stuff, and she spends it. They don't, teaches them how to do the game of getting money, and she spends it. They don't spend it. They don't get it. So it's just a lot of things that we help them with. But transitional housing is our main thing we want to get up and going. So a lot of them have places to stay. A lot of men and women, when they get out, they can't go back home. They have distanced themselves from their parents or other relationships, and so they need places to stay. And one of the requirements when they get out is that they have an address, place to stay. Otherwise, a lot of times when they go before probation, they're not gonna grant them probation. They're gonna grant them release because they're still in there. So we look forward to everybody just keeping those things in mind, and whenever you can help any prison ministry program in your area, please go to that program, get more information as to how you can help these men and women become the returning citizens that they should be. We don't call them ex-offenders, we call them returning citizens. We want to help them get their voting rights and all the other things that they deserve to have, because they can help make the city or help make wherever they live a better place if people would just give them a chance.
Right. So when people in prison, when their loved ones die in the streets, do you go in there and talk to them and mentor them? And
about the death of a loved one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the times you really need to get in there because they aren't able to go to the funerals. They in some states they do allow that, but not in the state of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowed to go to the funeral. So yeah, you need to be there for them. You are their family. As we go in as volunteers, we become their family, and so we comfort them just as if any other family member would.
Now I have a question. So for instance, like every Sunday you go to prison ministry?
Well, there's different times. You can go anytime during the week.
Do they help them get out on early release by them going to the chapel and going to church in prison?
Our presence does help people to get released earlier than they would be. The very fact that they have changed their lives and that the judicial system feels that they are now able to go out and be productive citizens in society, then and that's all because of them giving their hearts to the Lord inside the institutions. They accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, and it changes them completely. Some of them do it just to.
Now you say some of them do it just for a game,
just to impress.
To impress.
But believe me, they know the ones that's serious, because I'm gonna tell you can only play the game so long.
Right.
Eventually, you're gonna break down and show the other side. So if you're real about your new conversion, you'll be pretty consistent with that.
Do you give them, like, can you ordain them to be a deacon, or how
we
you can ordain people?
We actually have established churches inside the prison. There's the Little Flock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the Little Flock in Jessup, JCI, and MCI.
Yes.
And they do. They have a fully organized church. They got elders, they got deacons, they got ushers.
Oh, that's good.
And they do a great job, you know. We go in, but they pretty much conduct the services. You know, we may speak once in a while, but we just go in and enjoy what they put together. Got some great music in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jeffrey Johnson and JCI. He's actually a gospel recording artist from prison.
Wow.
You know, so yeah.
So when the prisoners, the returned citizens, right? Would you call them returned citizens?
Returning citizens.
Returned citizens. When they return, do they visit you and come to your church?
That's what we want them to do, and we give them an open invitation to definitely come to our churches. But you know, my thing is find a church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get out, yeah, I would love for you to come to my church.
Right.
You know, but find a church family. You know, get involved in ministry. You accepted the Lord while you were in prison. Continue to serve Him and you know, follow Him now that you're out. You know, find a church where you can help people. Go back out into the communities of that church or wherever you live and plant that same seed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that you received while you were in prison.
Now, have you, like, I'm pretty sure when you went in there, do you have any, like, people death sentence, like they in there for life, and you talk to any lifers and you minister to them, and then all of a sudden their sentence is overturned, they come out into society?
Yeah, occasionally that happens, yeah. And once again, that's because of the lifestyle change that they see inside the institutions. You know, it helps when you go before that parole board.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they can have your script, and your script shows that you haven't created any problems. You know, while you were in there, and you know that you're gone to the school. You know, you can go to school while you're in prison, get your GED. You can go to some of the other training programs that they have inside the institution. So when they see those kind of things, they say, yeah, you may have murdered somebody, you know, 30 years ago, or even 15, 20 years ago. But we see now that you're changed, and we feel that we can safely allow you to go back into society.
Okay. So is there any way where people can help your ministry, like donations? Can they send something to your organization to help you continue doing what you're doing?
Yeah, they can contact me. Once again, my name is Ron Timpson, and they can contact me at jtandtministries@gmail.com, or they can call me at 410-294-9413. And we actually have a training program for people who want to get involved in prison ministry. Mm-hmm. And we'll be glad to assist you with that. Oh yeah, we always have an open door for more volunteers. So please give me a call. Contact.
Amen. And earlier I heard that you was talking to Minister Flowers, that you watches her and you can learn something from her. Can you share that with the world? What you was talking about, what she does, and that, you know, you can gravitate off of what she did.
What you say, a motivator?
Christine.
Now you call me a motivator.
Christine Flowers has been very instrumental to me, especially as you mentioned. I don't just do prison ministry; I do homeless ministry as well. Mm. And she showed me that, you know, you have to have a true compassion for what you do. You know, it can't just be something to make you look good or make you feel good. You know, you have to really get down with the folks. And you're really not going to learn how to do homeless ministry from a distance. You got to get down with the people and really get to know them and feel them out. You know, because they will tell you what their needs are. They'll tell you how they feel. Mm-hmm. And that enables you to know how to do ministry for them. For instance, you know, in the wintertime, you go down there with summertime clothes. You know, they're going to tell you, you know, that's nice, I appreciate it, but we need some gloves and hats and shoes, you know, heavy shoes and heavy socks and thermal underwear. Mm-hmm. We need all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I learned that from her because, you know, we at different times went down and to help. And she showed me that this is what they need, this is how you work it, you know, and
right.
Them. And so I appreciate her a lot. And I'm here, I'm back in her office today, just to catch up on some more instruction and what's going on throughout the city.
Okay.
So basically, you learn from, mentoring, and then you take back, and then what you learn from her, you take back to the other people, to the community. That's
For
nice.
instance, I told her earlier that one of the programs that the Miracle City Church now is doing is they're going out into the community and help the flood victims on Frederick Road to prevent homelessness, because a lot of people didn't have insurance, and their houses, their basements were, the water came all up into the. People don't realize how devastating that flood was, because a lot of areas didn't get anything.
Because they highlighted Ellicott City.
Right, but that
A
water
lot of
came all
times
the way down.
they highlight the prominent areas, even more than some of the areas like Grandma and Auntie Basement.
Right.
Got flooded right there on the corner.
Right.
So
And because
they
that wasn't a high area where floods normally occur, they didn't bother to get no flood insurance.
But it took the church. It took the church to have that initiative in place, and that's real important. Because, like you said, they wasn't getting. People were out in Ellicott City rebuilding the same day. Volunteers, all the public media come to Ellicott City, but they may not have even highlighted the fact that that initiative was put in place by clergy leadership.
Right.
Our leadership in clergy is very important. When we could take the lead on something, like your pastor at Miracle Church, like you took the lead on it to put some things in protection for the ones that ain't getting no exposure, no acknowledgement. They ain't got no insurance. Ain't nobody worrying about y'all down here. Just go move somewhere else.
Right.
But it took that church leadership. That's funny because that's what I was saying this morning, like how we have to take certain leadership positions in Christ and our understanding of that. So it make a lot of sense.
Right.
Once again, you want to leave your information so someone can contact you.
Okay. I'm Ron Timpson. My email is jtandtministries@gmail.com. Be sure you spell that and. Don't just put that little asterisk or whatever they call that thing. It symbolizes
Spell the whole and out, huh? A-N-D?
It's JTANDT Ministries@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.